It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Good morning. It's the KQ Morning Show, 75% strong again this morning. I think Steve, he's battling this thing, and yesterday said he was just going crazy. If you're not feeling well and think you need to be tested and you're going to go out and try and buy one of those COVID tests, good luck. I think he bought the last 1,000 in town. He's testing himself every 15 minutes.
He's real anxious to get back here and hang out. So.
He
just likes to be swabbed.
It is. I mean, hey, listen, I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to say what we're all thinking out loud. Every once in a while, it's kind of nice to have a little sick day or two, You're like, all right, I'm just going to snuggle up and eat some chicken soup and throw my feet up and binge watch a bunch of shows as long as I'm not feeling too bad. You don't want to be flu-y, pukey, I'm a little head cold. I can ride that out. But yeah, day 3 or 4 in the summer, no less, when we're low humidity, temperature was a beautiful day yesterday. He's losing his mind, and we wish him all the best. We're feeling great. How are you feeling, Steve? Are you listening this morning? Ingrid Andress, remember we got started with her yesterday morning?
Yeah, that poor dear.
The star, mangled banner they're calling it now. I felt sorry for her too, Tony. I did. I thought, you know what? I hear it's a tough song to sing. You're in a stadium. Yeah. I always hear singers talking about their in-ears, those monitors they wear in their ears, and they can't hear themselves. When we all make fun of people that have their headphones on and they're singing and they sound terrible. I thought it was something like that, and then later that day, Ingrid Andress, the country music singer no one's heard of, said that she was drunk.
She was hammered.
She was hammied.
Yeah.
And apologized. And then you've got to follow that. You got to chase it real quick with the I'm going to rehab. See y'all. I hear it's a good time.
That sounded real sincere when she said that, too.
I know, right?
I hear rehab is, quote, super fun.
Well, I'm sure she was a little hungover, How cranky you get when you're all hungover and you've butchered our national anthem in front of the entire nation.
She's like, I get to go to the camp.
Old therapy camp.
No, help me. Help me out.
Yeah. So that's it for Ingrid. Probably, we'll see her back probably in a year. We won't. We'll never hear from her again. But what started happening is national anthems started going viral. The butchered national anthems. The Carl Lewis, remember, it was like 30 years ago, right?
Oh, that was so bad.
Carl Lewis, one of our great Olympians, won like 5 gold medals and won Olympics in 1984 in Los Angeles.
He sang an anthem?
Somebody thought...
No, not sing.
No, he did not sing. He, I don't know, he kind of screamed it out. In fact, we've put together a little montage of the worst renditions of the Star Spangled Banner. Of course, you got to get Roseanne Barr in there. Aaron Lewis of the band Stained, so a hard rocking band. He skipped some lyrics. We'll hear Carl Lewis in here. Fergie jazzing it up again. And then Bobby Vinton. The old Bobby Vinton couldn't ever catch up with the organ. Here we go.
I'll say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Yeah.
What so proudly we hailed, we're so gallantly streaming.
And the rockets,
This is Carl.
That's Carl.
the bombs bursting in it, gave proof through the night. I'll make up for it now.
Star-Spangled Banner, yet wave o'er land.
Or the land. One more time.
For the
There it is.
land of the free.
Well, in Bobby Vinton's defense, there were no monitors or earbuds to hear that organ back in the day. So there it is. That's the worst renditions of the Star Spangled Banner.
Need a Enrico Palazzo in there.
Right, exactly. Carl Lewis, he had the microphone standing out there. They should have done like one of those relay things where he started to butcher it. Then he ran over to a real singer and handed off the microphone. That would have been a nice touch. By the way, the American League ended up winning the All-Star game last night. I stuck with it. It was 3-3, I think, when I finally passed out. But somebody came in and smacked a home run. I forget who. Duran, that's right. 5-3. They won 10 of the last 11 All-Star games, for what that's worth. Games resume on Friday. How about Zorbas? You guys been to Zorbas lately? Any of the Zorbas?
I heard that they were acknowledged, but I've not been to it.
Yeah, the Zorbas out in Detroit Lakes, named to the New York Times. The big New York Times list of favorite pizza places.
Wow.
So my grandparents lived in Detroit Lakes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just thought Zorba's was like the epitome of cuisine because they had both pizza and nachos in the same location.
Yeah.
It's not a Greek place?
Oh, no. Have you been to their website? Zorba's, 2 Z's in that, by the way. And so being a Zepp, I dig Zorba's. I've only been out there a few times to Detroit Lakes, but I've been to Zorba's each time. I'm on the menu. They have spaghetti. They have salads.
Oh, they're kooky.
Yeah, appetizers. And then, of course, the specialty pies. I'm looking at the California Bacon Cheeseburger this morning. That looks pretty good. That's got it all on there. The Zorba's Zooper. Everything on it, Tony. Everything's on there. The bun special, the Zorba. There's the Zorba the Greek. And the Thai pie.
The pizza in the New York Times that a fan favorite shouted them out for was something that has like some kind of tomato and peanut butter sauce.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's radical.
I would try that.
I don't know
Drunk.
that I would.
Yeah, no, drunk or, just stoned. Serve me up a slice. Zorba's. But there's more than one Zorba's, right?
There's a bunch of Zorbas.
You have to drive all the...
if we do the KQ up north thing, there's one in Brainerd.
All right.
Like
Is there?
if you're in a lake community up north, there is most likely a Zorba's near you.
All right, when we head back up to Cragen's, we're going to serve up some Zorbas. We're going to have a Zorba pizza night up there. Tony's paying for it.
Done. I will.
Oh, it's National Hot Dog Day.
I'll dine and dash anyway.
National Hot Dog Day. I feel like every week there's a National Hot Dog Day, but today is the official National Hot Dog Day.
Because I'd be real pissed if we screwed it up and celebrated on the wrong day.
Yeah, right. I drive my daughters nuts because every time I get the sniffles, I latch on to one food. Normally it's pancakes. All I want to eat is pancakes. I've got to have pancakes. But for this latest little summer cold, it's been hot dogs. I've been going with the hot dogs. I bought all sorts, like 3 different types of Franks.
Yeah.
And I just been plowing through the hot dogs. By the way...
Beef.
That's all I had to add to that. I know I'm running long here, but I've got a rant about this. Has anyone else seen the hot dog buns that are sliced from the top? You know the hot dog bun, you open it up from the side and you put your hot dog in there, right?
I have.
The top, what's going on? What did I miss?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I bought a package and I didn't know that they were sliced from the top. So I was like, oh crap, they didn't slice them. So I did it on the side and then just had like a bunch of pieces of bread.
And you lost your balance and fell.
Up is down, cats and dogs living together. Yeah, I just grabbed the old hot dog. There it is. I think it said something like reduced price, week-old hot dog buns. Those are for me. So I grab the pack and I get home and I pull out the first button. I'm like, what? And I just thought it was a mistake.
How do I work this?
I was laughing. I was getting ready to put it on social media. Hey, everybody, look what I found. Somebody screwed up my hot dog buns. They cut them. They work just as well. But yeah, like you said, Ryder, it's a little unsettling.
It is.
I think probably.
It sucks when they're not pre-sliced, too.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh, yeah. With that. And then you try to tear it. Or I'm going to get a knife out and try and cut a bun, and you just end up squishing it.
I'm not doing manual labor.
We could go on all day long. Hey, are we giving away Foo Fighters tickets today?
Damn Skippy. It's $7.50.
$7.50 with, we'll do some yes or BS, and we'll get some hot dog trivia in there. There's no reason to wander off, and it's Wednesday. Can we do a Would You Rather Wednesday?
Oh, please.
So fun.
Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
It is the KQ Morning Show. Good to be back. We've got Mike Evans' Hollywood Report at 6:50 this morning, a game show for Little River Band 3 Dog Night tickets at the Ledge Amphitheater this Friday. And then at 7:50, Yes or BS, the hot dog edition. It is National Hot Dog Day for Foo Fighters tickets at 7:50. Got a couple of minutes here for Would You Rather. It is a Would You Rather Wednesday. Sometimes would you rather this or would you rather that? And it really gets you thinking. These are not those. These are so effing ridiculous. We got these off BuzzFeed. It calls it the hardest list of would you rather questions. And yeah, because I wouldn't rather do any of this. But would you rather?
That's not the game. The game is you got to pick.
I know. You got to pick one, right?
And if you want to jump in too, talk and text line is open at 651-989-ROCK.
Oh, yeah, I got to jump on
True.
that. I got to log in this morning. Now you can trash talk me. I can't read them. Although I do like to read the trash talking. Those are my favorite. All right, would you rather, Tony and Ryder, playing along out there, would you rather give up cheese or oral pleasure?
Oh, come
Cheese
on.
is the ultimate oral pleasure, if you ask me. I wonder if you could get the two involved. I've not tried that before. But anyway, that's not the question. Would you rather give up cheese or oral pleasure?
Well,
Giving or receiving?
Well, I mean, either can be a good time. Obviously, receiving seems to come with a bit more pleasure, I think.
the answer is definitely cheese. I mean,
You're so greedy in the sack. I've heard. I read in the men's room. Sorry.
Put that Sharpie down, Zep.
All right, Ryder, continue.
I'm Scandinavian, so eventually I'm going to have to give up cheese. My parents said, dude, it's the lactose intolerance is coming. It is on the way. This is a foregone conclusion. So,
all right. All right.
That's an easy one.
She's giving up the cheese. Tony, any preference there?
No, of course, cheese. You could go with the soy or fake cheese, which is horrible.
Right. But, it is horrible.
Of course, cheese. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to, that's a clean sweep. 3 for 3 there. All right. These just get weird. Would you rather have, legs as long as your fingers or fingers as long as your legs? That's stupid. Would you rather have legs as long as your fingers or fingers as long as your legs? What?
Yeah.
All right, short little legs or really long fingers. I guess, well, now we're back to the pleasuring, aren't we?
Cheese.
I'm just going to cheese. I'm going to give up the cheese. I don't know. All right, you guys want to chime in on that one?
You can reach things better with the long fingers.
I'm going to go with the short legs because...
Really?
Yeah, because typing and pushing buttons and stuff, it's going to get in. I don't think I can do this job with fingers as long as my legs, but I could definitely do this job with legs as long as my fingers.
See, that's where you and I go our separate ways. Okay. I'm not thinking of this job or any employment when I'm thinking of this. I'm thinking I can't ski. How can I ride my motorcycle with my legs like that? But all right, so I'm going to go with, I'd rather just have the long fingers like Tony. See what kind of trouble we can get into with that long finger of mine.
Think of the cool fights you could get into.
Oh, that would be the ultimate slap fight.
Yeah, wouldn't it? You just bitch slap somebody from across the room. Take that. Whack. All right, one more here. Oh, that's too disturbing. I'm going to save that for another time. I know, I'm such a tease. Would you rather go around with a visible booger in your nose all the time or have a hairy mole right between your eyes? You can't get rid of the booger. It's always there. Or have that hairy mole. Now, see, when people look at you with the booger, they're going to go, you've got a freaking booger. This person's got a booger just hanging there. But with the hairy mole, people are like, well, they can't do anything about that, but I can't take my eyes off of it. The hairy mole or the booger in the nose all the time?
Well, according to Mr. Ryder, I'm usually going around with a booger hanging out of my nose anyway.
Isn't that his job to come over there and wipe that away for you?
He does, and I'm like, I'm not a child.
There.
He gives you the hand wipe. That's sweet. It's adorable. Tony, mole or booger?
Yeah, probably the boogie because you can kind of cover that up.
Yeah, right.
But the mole never goes away.
The mole never goes away.
And the boogie can be kind of your signature look.
Well, I feel like we've done some good work here this morning. Thanks for playing along.
Big movie reviews, the latest news on rock stars, celebrities, and world-class athletes, and plenty of juicy love nuggets, too. We're heading west for Mike Evans' Hollywood Report on the KQ Morning Show.
Well, good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul, KQRS listeners. Hope everybody is doing well today. We start off with some movie news. The movie is called The Surfer. It stars Nick Cage. It was shot in Australia. In the movie, Nick Cage plays an old beach bum surfer who has obviously lost part of his mind, who returns from the United States to his childhood Australian beach home. But when he gets there, he meets up with a bunch of young surfers who have taken over Luna Beach. Well, that's where he learned to surf as a kid, and Nick Cage's character declares war on them. and all hell breaks loose. Look, I haven't seen this movie yet, but people who have seen it tell me that while the scenery is absolutely breathtaking, that the movie plot, the acting, and the pace is unbelievably stupid. Sounds like just another bad Nick Cage movie. Nick Cage couldn't hit water if he fell off his surfboard. Meanwhile, Kevin Costner's Horizon, an American Epic Chapter 1 had horrible pre-sales. And as you know, the movie has bombed terribly. So bad that the follow-up movie, Chapter 2, has been scratched from opening. Well, the exact opposite is true for Twisters. Twisters opens this weekend. I will review Twisters on Friday. Twisters has already made $125 million in pre-sales. Better get your tickets early. Little TV news. I love the show. I know a lot of people hate the show, but it always has huge ratings. I'm talking about Big Brother. The 26th season of Big Brother debuts tonight, and there is talk that somehow AI will be weaved into the show. How, I don't know, but I'll be watching. More TV news. Hulu has green-lighted a limited series called All Is Fair. It will star Glenn Close and Halle Berry and Kim Kardashian. The show is set at a very high-end Los Angeles law office where Kim Kardashian plays the top divorce lawyer in the country. The show is being called a serious drama. No, brother. Celebrity sighting at the Rockwall, Texas Sprouts grocery store, just about 20 miles outside Dallas, Texas. A new local resident in Rockwall, Texas. I kid you not. Shaquille O'Neal. Why Shaquille O'Neal would live in Rockwall, Texas, I have no idea. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mike Evans. See ya.
The Mike Evans Hollywood Report. Weekdays on the KQ Morning Show. It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
All right, it is game show time. Before we get to that, we got a fun game you're going to want to play next time you fly. Next time you go through the TSA X-ray machine. What a great story coming up here about 7:20. We'll get to that. 7:50 this morning. Yes or BS for Foo Fighters tickets right now. It's Three Dog Night and Little River Band tickets this Friday at the Ledge Amphitheater. Thank you to Mammoth Live for those tickets. Tony, take it away.
Yes, indeed. It's time to flex your guessing muscle and win a prize. It's yes or BS. We're going to read a statement, and you tell us, is it true or is it made up? True or false trivia at its finest. It's yes or BS. By gosh.
I like it. All right, we need a couple of contestants. Up first. Who do we have?
Up first is our old buddy Pat from North St. Paul.
Good morning, Pat. How do this morning?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, we're getting by. We're doing all right, you know. Mostly healthy around here.
Well, that's good. That's good.
That is good, isn't it? We're winning the battle. All right, Tony's
one day closer to Friday, right?
One day, man. Here we are, up and over the hump, and then we just coast right on into the weekend. And what a beautiful week we've got here. Hope it lasts through the weekend. Pat, we're going to turn you over to Tony. Yes or BS?
All right, Pat, enough of this polite chit-chat with your buddy Brian. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Okay, you just tell us yes or BS on these silly statements. Number one, the home of Coors Beer is a town with the precious name of Golden, Colorado.
Yes.
Oh, my machine froze up.
I hate that damn machine. It's freezing.
There you go. Right. Welcome back, honey.
Yeah, Golden, Colorado.
Yes, that is correct. Nice start. Way to go, Pat.
Right out of the fresh spring water there that flows out of the mountains, right?
Tasty. Number two, Jimmy Walker as J.J. Evans on the show Good Times had a catchphrase. He would clap his hands together and say, "Kid, explosive."
BS.
Correct. It is Kid Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Jimmy Walker used to come into the building I worked in Fresno to do some radio stuff, and the boss would run around the entire building before he showed up saying, whatever you do, don't say dynamite when you walk in the door.
Oh.
I had that.
I don't think he minded.
No, I think he loved it.
Of
He
course.
embraced it. That was his moment, right? I had a bucket hat, and if you flipped the front up, it said dynamite on it.
Oh, my God.
And
I
before we
remember
would go
those.
in to eat at a fancy restaurant like Long John Silver's over there in South Dakota,
Fancy.
Mom would make me flip it down. I'm like, it just says dynamite, Mom. Just flip it down, Brian.
You had that hat. I know that hat.
Yeah.
That's great. I wanted it. Very cool. All right, Pat, where are we at? Number 3, a popular board game involves using dice where players try to create different combinations similar to poker hands. That game is called Gnip Gnop.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm sorry, that game is Yahtzee. Yahtzee.
Oh, that's right. I was going to try and bring that word back. Steve brought it up one day, and I was just going to start going, Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
All right,
Come here,
maybe-
Yahtzee.
I'm going to reset on that, but not for Pat. Pat, 2 for 3.
Yep, there
You're
was
solid.
a Gnip Gnop, but that's not how you played Gnip Gnop.
Sounds delicious.
Much more complicated. Number 4, in the first season of American Idol, the original 2 co-hosts were Ryan Seacrest and a guy named Brian Dunkelman.
Yes.
I am sorry,
What?
Brian Dunkelman
Really?
was the co-host with Seacrest the first season. Yeah, he was the nice guy. He was the buffer
Hey.
between Simon and...
I think I kind of remember him. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
He ran off with the other bosom buddy
he's bitter.
into obscurity.
All right. 2
You're
more
back.
for you, Pat.
All right.
The 2 M's in the candy M&M's stand for man oh man because they taste so good.
That's BS.
Yeah.
Correct. They're named after the candy's creators, Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray, M&M.
All right. 3 for 5. One more to go.
All right, Pat, your last one. The amount of heat generated in the average grilled cheese sandwich is equal to the amount of heat intensity given off by a bolt of lightning.
I'm going to say yes.
Tis not true. It's made up nonsense. That'd be one hot grilled cheese sandwich.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I still can't wait to take that first bite. I always burn the roof of my mouth. I just can't wait. Hey, Pat, that's a solid 500. Those are all-star numbers right there, buddy. You've 3 for 6. Might get the job done. We'll see how our second contestant does. Who is?
Welcome to the stage, Jeff from Richfield.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm getting by. I'm doing all right. Life treating you all right?
Yeah, I survived the hurricane, lost my boat, but I'm back here for the cleanup. So I'm down in St. Vincent now.
Oh, are you
my
down in
gosh.
St. Vincent, right? So you literally did survive the hurricane and lost your boat? What boat did you have? What kind of boat?
I had a 40-foot sailboat on Union, and Union got flattened. Caracou got flattened.
No kidding.
And then I flew back to the U.S. from Grenada, and then I had to get my head screwed back on straight.
Wait, this isn't
and then
naked Jeff, is it?
This is what?
This isn't naked Jeff, is it? That
No,
like to hang-
this
all
is
right,
Jeff from Richfield and Tubac that had the RV, lived in the RV, and then I had the boat down the Caribbean.
That's right. We talked about that. I was going to come get on your 40-foot sailboat, but now I'm not.
Yes.
Insured,
Yes.
I hope.
But I'll tell you, Kingstown, St. Vincent is just a beautiful city. Beautiful. If you guys want to come down to St. Vincent, man, St. Vincent's a beautiful island.
All right,
really, really pretty.
I'm going to book my ticket while Tony takes it away here, Jeff. Yes
right.
or BS. Sorry to hear about your sailboat,
All right.
man.
Yeah, what a story. Glad
Thank you.
you're okay, though,
Appreciate
Mr. Man.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Let's win you something. Number 1, the very first star ever to appear on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was for Gerald Narvis, who played a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. Yes or BS?
Oh, boy. Yes.
Correct. It is not true. Joanne Woodward, who won an Oscar for The Three Faces
Oh.
of Eve in 1957,
Okay.
was the very first one.
Did not know that.
Well, now you know it. Number 2, if you happen to be a noctambulist, you are someone who sleepwalks.
Oh, so it's knock is night. So I'm going to say BS.
I'm sorry, sir. It's a disorder often known as somnambulism.
All right.
Noctambulist.
You and your big words. All right. Well, you're right there at 500. 1 for 2, Jeff.
Noctambulist?
Noctambulist. Had to practice that one.
Ambulist, okay.
You noctambulist.
Watch your language.
Number 3, the name of the best-selling author who wrote, among others, the novels The Firm, The Pelican Brief, and The Client is Kamari von Schensman.
Yes.
Correct. That'd be John Grisham.
Yes.
John Grisham, not Kamari
What's he
von
up to
Schensman.
these days? I feel like Grisham's not turning anything out. You haven't heard his name in a while. I'll Google him. We'll drive on here. 2 for 3, Jeff.
Number 4, the founder of Motown Records is Barry Williams.
Yes.
Correct. It is Barry Gordy. Barry Williams played Greg Brady on the Brady Bunch, as you well know.
All right. 3 for 4. That's a tie. You need one more for the win here, Jeff.
Let's go, buddy. Number 5, before they settled on the name Aerosmith for the band, they were called Harold Smith, named after Steven Tyler's uncle, the dry cleaner.
Yes.
Correct. That is not true. It is made up.
What is the original name?
Smoke Time. I have no idea.
They're partially named after the book Aerosmith by
John Grisham.
Upton Sinclair or Sinclair Lewis. I forget who wrote Aerosmith.
It's times like this we could use a Steve Gorman.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he'd know that. He'd know that stuff. We're just reduced to Googling, and I'm not going to waste my time. But you have officially won. But let's close it out, Jeff. One more here. You're on a run.
I'm going with Harold Smith. Your last one, in the 93 movie Jurassic Park, the very first clone dinosaur to appear in the movie and be shown to the audience is a velociraptor.
BS.
I'm sorry, it is the velociraptor. Makes its debut.
Okay. I thought it was a brontosaurus or something.
Well, you'd be mistaken, wouldn't you, Jeff?
It matters now, Jeff. You've got the win. You've lost
Nice
a
job.
sailboat, but you've won a couple of tickets. I don't know if you can use them or not. The show's this Friday, but
I got a friend who will definitely go see Three Dog Night for sure.
All right, sounds good,
So
Jeff.
who's left? Is it just like Danny Hutton? Is that the only one left?
Is he the
must
one
be
that
the only-
split his wiener? Remember the guy in Three
I don't
Dog
know, but-
Night? He came out with the autobiography, and he had split his. He had so much sex that his wiener split like a hot dog in the microwave too long.
Oh my God!
Something else to Google. Just a fun fact we're adding there for you, Jeff. But it's a true story.
Part of his onstage banter, I believe.
But I don't know. I don't know who's left. One is the loneliest number. I
Chuck
understand.
Negron that wrote that book. It's called Three Dog Nightmare.
There's our punchline, and we're out. Jeff, Pat, thank you very much. We appreciate you calling in and playing along with us this morning. A little yes, a lot of BS on the KQ Morning Show. We're going to do it again. We have the Hot Dog Edition. It's National Hot Dog Day. That's coming at 7:50 for your chance to win Foo Fighters tickets. Coming up next year, we have a fun little game for you to play the next time you go through the airport, the TSA X-ray machine. I'm not even going to say it. You're going to have to. Yeah, it's silly. It's stupid. You'll want to hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
All right, welcome back. Thanks. Coming around on 7:30. You guys ever get pulled out a line for one of those special searches at the airport by a TSA agent?
Almost every time.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, I look suspicious. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Almost every time.
Yeah. So, do you ever question them, like, why me? Because they always say it's random.
Yeah.
That's just a random search, sir. But I know some people, they seem to get random searched every time.
I joke about it. I do. I ask them why, and they just go, "Get in line, sir." Yeah, they won't answer me.
Wow. So I guess you won't be smuggling our drugs to any far-off destination anytime soon.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Willing to mule something in for us? Yeah. Well, this could get awkward, Tony. I don't want to suggest anything here, but a woman on TikTok whose boyfriend is a TSA agent said that, well, here, I'll let her tell you herself. Her name is Elise Carolyn, which is like 2 first names. But here you go. This is what she contends.
TSA agent just told me that people with blessed posteriors set off the x-ray machine more often than not. I feel like this is something we need to test out, everybody. You've got a fat ass. Next time you go to the airport, please tell me, Did you set off the X-ray machine?
Well, there's the game that we're going to all be playing now when we go through TSA. We're going to be looking for a big butt, and will it set off the X-ray machine? I don't know what the TSA, of course, says that they cannot verify the authenticity of claims made on TikTok without more context, blah, 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 blah. But a CNN report revealed when you step into the body scanner, the technology scans you and indicates areas on the body warranting further inspection based on bulges or anomalies that don't align with what the machine was taught. And if anybody's got a comment on the talk and text line, 651-989-ROCK, if you feel like you've been singled out because of your bountiful bottom at the TSA by a TSA agent, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you this morning. I don't know about that.
Are you getting too close to the sensors? Like, what could possibly be happening?
Maybe they think you're, I don't know, maybe they think you're smuggling something in your pants. It happens. I've got an example right here. A Chinese man caught by customs agents recently with 100 live snakes stuffed into his pants. For a good time.
That's a party.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Woo, that's a lot of squirming going on. Hey, what are you doing back there? Officials say the man was attempting to travel from Hong Kong into the mainland China with 6 canvas bags shoved into his pants. Yeah, that's going to be some anomalies, some bulges.
I can't wait to go home and say, is that 100 snakes in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
Just happy to see you. We have 104... trouser snakes, I guess, many of which were non-native species. Yeah, so they smuggle these things in, and I guess I don't know what they do over there in China with them. Are they pets? Do they eat them? Is it medicine? Maybe they're just having a good time. People, we've heard stories about what they do with eels. They've had to remove them in emergency rooms. Right, yeah.
No.
For the brown cave.
Is it a rectum damn near killed him?
Rectum damn near killed him, yeah. Absolutely. China's become one of the world's biggest animal trafficking hubs and has been cracking down on illegal wildlife smuggling. I mean, it just seems greedy. 104 snakes? What about 5? People get too greedy with this smuggling thing, Keep it manageable.
I mean, he had all those sacks. What are you going to do? You got to put something in them.
How about getting like 20 different people to smuggle them in for you? I don't know, 104. It sounds uncomfortable. Can you even sit down in your seat on the plane with 104? What if you looked over at the guy sitting next to you and his pants were squirming and moving and all those snakes were, ugh. It got too greedy. Like this guy. This is a story from this morning. Yeah, July 16th. So this story just came out yesterday. Man arrested after he hacked up a big loogie. Man arrested after 29 pounds of marijuana found in luggage at Louisville Airport. And this is what I like. I'm looking at the guy's mugshot. He looks like a big-time stoner. I mean,
not a surprise.
You look at him and you go, stoner! And 100% of the times you'd be right. 21-year-old Nicholas Ashlock charged with trafficking marijuana. Yeah, 29.3 pounds to be exact. Dude, you look like the world's ultimate stoner, and you've got your bag packed full of marijuana. So that's trafficking.
That's like the size
federal.
of a kid or a big dog. 29 pounds?
Yeah, for a good time. I mean, yeah, he got greedy. He's like, I'm just going to take it all in one trip. Guys, I got all the dope we're going to need for our weekend wherever. I've got all 29 pounds. It doesn't say here where he was headed. The incident happened back Muhammad Ali International Airport. I didn't know there was a Muhammad Ali International Airport.
Where is that?
Well, this said Shepherdsville man arrested Monday after 30 pounds of marijuana in his luggage at a Louisville airport. Oh, yeah, Muhammad Ali, Louisville. Right. Hometown. That makes sense. And 29, so you got 104 snakes, 29 pounds of marijuana. Yeah, if I'm smuggling, I'm taking a quarter bag, perhaps, or, my little one-y.
A manageable amount.
Something like that. That's what I'm taking. Probably not the whole 29 pounds.
I did have a buddy who worked for TSA in South Dakota, and this may have been total crap, but he's like, we're told not to stop you if you have just a little amount that's clearly not for sale, but 29 pounds was way overboard.
That's what he's thinking.
You're
he's
definitely getting stopped for that crap.
The TSA agent's like, even if I take like 5 of this for myself, you're still sitting there at, like 24.5 pounds, dude. So gonna have to bust you on this one. You've made it too easy. Like the 104 snakes. We've got 104 snakes on the frickin' plane, 29 pounds of pot down in the belly of the plane, and some poor lady gets scanned at TSA because, she's put on a little weight. She's packing a little extra bulge here and there.
Smoking weed.
Smoking weed. Doing coke, drinking beers. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to snort a little coke. We're going to drink some beers. We're going to have a good time, smoke some weed, all that good jazz. And we're going to give you a shot at Foo Fighters tickets, yes or BS, before the top of the hour. About 7:50. Be listening here for your chance to call in. We have more TSA fun right here on KQ.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Yep, here we go. On the line, a couple of Foo Fighters tickets in town July 28th, a Sunday night. Why do they do it to us, Ryder?
I'm still going to try and sneak in, and you'll just have to put up with me being real tired.
No, that's both of us. Guess who's going to be crankier? We'll make that a contest on the 29th that morning. So, the Foo Fighters coming to town. I don't care how many times I've seen the Foo Fighters. That's the band I will always... ZZ Top, the big ones, of course, and the Foo Fighters.
I've never actually seen the Foo Fighters.
Go.
Right? And I've been trying to go, and it's been canceled and rescheduled, and this has been going on for years. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, Grohl built this band to play live, and so you like all the Foo Fighters tunes. I mean, they've got a dozen or more hits that most people know and you love to sing along with. But when you see them live, it's a whole different loud experience. He's really trying to be the best damn live band of all time, and they're reaching for it. I think they might just get there if they're not already. So yes or BS, a couple of contestants. It's National Hot Dog Day. I've really been pigging out on the hot dogs lately. A little bit of a summer cold. It's been my comfort food. I've eaten at least 2 or 3 hot dogs every day for the last week. No
really?
kidding. Oh, yeah. I've got your Nathans. I've got the Hormel all-beef Franks, the Ballpark Franks. And then at my favorite grocery store, they crank out some old-fashioned wieners.
What?
Yeah.
What goes in an old-fashioned wiener?
It goes in me is what happens with that old-fashioned wiener. Traditional. Nothing weird, okay? A little... Slap some mustard on there, some cheese, and we're all good to go. A couple of contestants for those Foo Fighters tickets, a yes or BS. Who do we have, Ryder?
First up, Big Bad John from Burnsville.
Big Bad John. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Nice to be talking with you down there in Burnsville this morning. Beautiful day. You working today?
I am.
That sucks, doesn't it?
It does.
You like your job?
At least I'm working outside, and it's a nice day.
Oh, yeah. Good day to be working outside. All right. Well, you understand how yes or BS works, right, John?
Right.
We're going to give you a fact. You tell me yes or BS. A lot of hot dog facts. Some of this is just weird food facts. They're called hot dogs, John, because they were originally used as dog food. Yes or BS?
BS.
Big time BS. The fact is no one's sure where the term came from, but they were definitely not originally used as dog food. So there you are on the board, 1 for 1. Now we're getting off the hot dog topic. We'll come back to it. Burgoo, B-U-R-G-O-O, burgoo, is a type of stew you can make with basically any kind of meat. Yes or BS?
Yes.
Yeah, also called roadkill soup. Popular in Kentucky, Illinois, and South Dakota, where I grew up. Roadkill soup. All right, you're killing it, John. The LA Dodgers sell more hot dogs than any other baseball team. Yes or BS?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They're expected to sell over 3 million hot dogs this season. Next is the Texas Rangers with 1.6 million and the Boston Red Sox with 1.5 million. I didn't look up Target Field. I don't know how many hot dogs they sell. They go through a bunch of them, I'm sure.
Oh, man, but those Dome Dog days.
Oh, the Dome Dog.
Yeah.
They're big and delicious. And now I'm craving a Dome Dog, but not the Dome. Terrible place. Like a day like today, going out to a ball game at the Dome? No way. All right, back on topic. John, 3 for 3, by the way. Wiener Schnitzel sells more fresh grilled hot dogs than any other retailer in America. Yes or BS?
BS.
That is right. 7-Eleven sells the most. About 100 million hot dogs per year. We don't even have many of those around here. If any, do we have many?
No. I was looking on 7-Eleven Day to get the free Slurpee. The closest one is someplace in the middle of Wisconsin.
Well, who wants to go out there for a Slurpee? All right, for four, John. You're the for four. Here we go. One more. Chitlins are a type of green leafy vegetable. Yes or BS?
BS.
That's right. Chitlins or chitterlings, actually fried pig intestines. So,
Ooh.
yeah, well, they're related to the hot dog, I guess, in a way. Don't like to use the word intestines.
From the same family.
Yeah, it's from the same family.
Yeah.
John, damn, brother, you came to play today. That's 5 for 5. You might end up in a tiebreaker, but you're not a loser out of the gate. So hang tight, John. We're going to go to our next contestant, Ryder.
We are going to be talking to Steve in Bloomington.
Steve, good morning.
Steve?
Steve. Oh, Steve.
Yes.
Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Oh, fine.
On your way to Burnsville to see John, you'll run into Steve in Bloomington.
Southside representing today.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? You working outside today, Steve?
No.
Good for you. Or not good for you. It's a beautiful day. Anyway, here we go. Steve, it's yes or BS. We have a couple of hot dog ones in here. Yours are really getting into weird food, however. Rocky Mountain oysters, Steve, are a type of freshwater clam. Yes or BS?
Yes.
No, they're not. Even seafood. Rocky Mountain oysters. They come from the nether regions of bulls, sheep, male pigs. They're testicles.
They are.
Hey, congrats, John.
Congrats, John. Well, let's play
Let's play for pride.
Let's play for pride, John.
I will.
Cool lickles. Cool lickles are pickles soaked in Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Usually red Kool-Aid. They're very popular down in the South there. All right. You're off and running now.
Kool-Aid. So you eat the pickle and then it has Kool-Aid flavor?
Yeah. It's soaked right there in the Kool-Aid. It does sound gross, doesn't it?
I love pickles.
It's kind of a red trash
drink
beat.
Some Kool-Aid, but okay.
Well, they do that. They put pickles in their Dr. Pepper down there. We've learned that as well.
Huh.
All right, John. In the movie Dirty Harry, John was the first contestant. Steve, in the movie Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood is chewing on a hot dog when he delivers the classic line, "You got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Yes or BS?
BS.
Yeah, he was chewing one right before that, but he swallows it by the time he started talking and blows the guy's head off. All right, here we go. Aquatac. I'm sorry, let me repronounce that. It was way off. I got to look at the phonetic pronunciation. Aguduk. Aguduk. It's spelled A-K-U-T-A-Q. I know. Not even a U in there. But it's called aguduk as a type of ice cream made with fish.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's called Alaskan ice cream or Eskimo ice cream. That may have been canceled, I don't know. Made with things like whipped fat, dried fish, moose, and caribou meat. Aguduk. 2 scoops, please.
So it's like frozen pureed fish?
Yeah, pretty much. For a good refreshing.
Do you
on a
put
hot
tartar
day.
sauce on that?
I'd eat the tartar sauce and throw away the aguduk. All right, one more here, Steve. It takes the average person 6.1 bites to eat a hot dog. The average person, yes or BS?
Yes.
Yeah, they've actually tested it with people who have the average size mouths. So, yeah, 6.1 bite, just that 0.1 bite to get her down. Damn, Steve, if you wouldn't have flubbed up the Rocky Mountain oysters, we'd be headed to a tiebreaker. But we appreciate you calling in anyway. We've got nothing for you, but our
tomorrow
gratitude.
you're good to play tomorrow. We're going to have more Foo Fighters tickets.
Yeah.
Tony's got something Foo Fighters themed, so either you need to know a lot about the Foo Fighters or just something goofy that Tony thinks is related to the Foo Fighters.
Boy, good luck with all that. We're fighting the foo tomorrow, Steve. Please try and call back for that.
Okay.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good day. And John, congratulations. You're going to the Foo Fighters July 28th.
Have more Foo Fighters tickets.
We'll get back to I'll let John know.
Congratulate John for him. Give him a big slap on the back. It is National Hot Dog Day. What do you like to put on your hot dog, Ryder?
Mustard, relish, raw onions, and sometimes when I go to New Bohemia and they do the brats, I get some coleslaw in there. They've got some special coleslaw.
Yeah. It's good. What about Chicago dog?
Oh, I love Chicago dogs.
Yes.
I'm always trying to get one of the bosses to bring back some sport peppers anytime they do a Chicago trip.
Yeah.
And they've been skunking me.
My tongue is just numb right now. I was looking up some hot dog deals, and they have a hot dog here with fried egg and guacamole on it.
That's overkill.
Yeah, that is over. How about blue cheese?
I love some blue cheese. I could do that.
What about caramel popcorn?
No.
Right.
I don't have a sweet tooth, though. Are you eating the caramel popcorn hot dog?
No, I'm not eating. I'm just looking at these crazy hot dog toppings. I like a Doritos with my but not on top. Pulled pork, bacon, jalapeno cream cheese. Get out and have a hot dog today. I'm going to have one here during the break. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Well, in the what could possibly go wrong category this morning for news, we have this story. An undergraduate college student right here in Minnesota planning his own music festival at St. Paul's Alliance Field. So far, so good. That sounds like a good time. An entrepreneur trying to make a good time happen will offer 8 hours of music and an open bar.
Open bar, dude.
With thousands of people at Alliance Field, 8 hours of music and an open bar. What could possibly go wrong? It is called the Forbidden Festival.
Ooh, creepy. Yes.
Promoted to college students around St. Paul. Well, we're not invited. It's the brainchild of University of St. Thomas student Breno Bueno, founder of FBDN Ventures. He's applied to the city this month for a sound level variance permit, so they can get real loud over there, just off 94 in Alliance Field. Student from University of St. Thomas, set to graduate in May, according to his profile here. My beauty pass for about a year and a half. Currently also run. All right, we don't need to get into his long backstory here, but the open bar will feature rum, vodka, beer, and then, some non-alcoholic drinks.
Sure, because that's what people pay money to get into this festival for, to run over and get some non-alcoholic beer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep themselves regular, keep themselves peeing. He's calling it a revolutionary college festival. Yeah, revolution. It's the first ever open bar at a big festival of this size.
That can't be true, can it? The first ever on the planet?
Get ready for the biggest open bar university party in Minnesota. Well,
okay.
It's he's trying to grab a headline here, and that certainly grabs the headline. Now, this is DJs.
Yeah.
Not us kind of DJs. You know what we're talking about here. But,
like the electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that good stuff. So he's going to have that going on with an open bar. I mean, it's I don't even know how you get insured for something like that. But Mr. Bueno, I can dig it. It's called the Forbidden Festival. I don't even know what's happening here. I didn't even grab a date.
It's going to be in September. I think it's like September 21st. Spoiler, I have plans and I'm going to miss this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alliance Field. And
Alliance. Is that how it's pronounced?
That
Alliance?
is how it's pronounced.
What did I say, Alliance? Alliance?
Like Alliance Field, which I think is a real cool place. I've seen some, United games there. I think it'd be a real cool venue to have a show right smack in the middle of the field. But this just sounds like trouble. And of course, it's a private school kid throwing this thing down. Yeah. Like, that just screams, I have too much money.
You know what no kidding. My God, how much is he spending on this thing? He's not going to make his money back on it. Or maybe he will. I don't know.
He will. Tickets are $70, which is really pricey. I can definitely do a night of all I can drink for under $70.
The drink and
I am a cheap date. Me and my peebers.
Noted. So this Allianz Field, it has an open air roof, right?
Yes,
it's not completely domed. It looks a little domed.
Could get rained out.
Could get rained out. I'm wondering if this thing is going to be, live streamed at all. Because I want to watch it. I want to sit at home in the comfort of my recliner with a beer and watch an open bar rave with thousands of college students. It sounds wild. And then they, of course, all spill out into the streets of St. Paul. Sounds like a good time.
It's going to be a party on the Green Line right after this thing wraps up, because it's getting done at like 10:30, and that's not when parties get over on Saturdays when you're in college.
There's got to be an insurance policy on that, I would think. Who's going to insure that?
I don't know. He must have it locked down. Somebody must have put the money for this, which seems crazy.
Possibly go wrong, Ryder. You got to believe in your fellow man.
I really want it to be like all of those college movies, like Animal House and Old School, where they throw a party to like solve the problems. But I think this is just going to cause the problems.
Yeah, there again, if you think you're solving problems, you're just creating new problems. Well, this is one of those rave DJ things. I think they're more into the drugs, aren't they, than the booze? It's a different generation. Maybe they won't even get that smashed.
I've been told that this, your Gen Z is not really into the drugs or the booze at all. And it's going to cause some, economic problems.
This economy is built on drugs and booze.
Is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
They'll change their mind once they start getting further into their 20s, a bit more cynical. Maybe about 5 years into a marriage, they'll start drinking. Trust me.
All right.
The drugs will come out. It's only a matter of time. It's the American way.
Maybe they're just going to want a hug.
Have you ever had a stranger come up and hug you?
Absolutely. Not here, because we don't do that here.
No.
But I totally have had a stranger come up and hug me in San Francisco. I was at a pizza joint, gave me a smack on the cheek, a big on the cheek too.
Did you give him a knee to the crotch?
This is weird. Well, it was an old lady.
Oh. Well, if an old lady's going to give me a random hug, I guess I'm just going to go with that,
Yeah.
Who knows? I might grab some ass.
I was 15. I was with my parents, and they're like, and I think it was maybe the first time a stranger had hugged me, because it was one of my first trips out of the Midwest. Yeah. And they're like, you just have to roll with it.
You're not in the Midwest anymore.
Yeah, I was real uncomfortable.
You're not getting anonymous hugs in the Midwest.
No.
We won't even make anonymous eye contact in the Midwest. Hugs, not drugs. That's what I always say, especially when I'm on drugs. Well, I'm glad you brought up the hugging, because cops in California have caught the hugging bandits. Apparently, this is some sort of new diversionary crime where someone comes up and hugs you and then robs you. Earlier this month, a man in California outside, when a vehicle parked out front, a woman jumps out of the vehicle, runs up to him, gives him a big hug, and then she forcefully removed the gold chain from around his neck. There was also a man in her vehicle. He didn't get out. The thief sped off with his chain, and he called the cops. They did locate the suspects, but the cops are warning about hugging bandits. This is kind of a new thing, I guess.
It's a distractionary burglary is what it is. They're coming up with new methods now, and one of those methods is offering a hug to somebody or acting like they know you and giving you a hug. And while they're giving you that hug, they're targeting a piece of your property.
Yeah. I guess if it's a sweet old lady or this woman ran up and hugged him, yeah, not cool. I'm not down with the random hugging, and now they're just turning it into a crime.
So where are we going for? California is where we're headed to get the hugs?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
So are you going to put on a whole bunch of costume jewelry? Just to fool them so that you can get your fill of hugs?
What happened to the good old days when you would just show them your boobs and you'd get some beads out of the deal? Can we go back to that routine? That's the one I like.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, and this is the best of the KQ Morning Show on 92 KQRS.
You might find yourself with a lot of cash, and then you think to yourself, maybe it's time I finally got that Ferrari I always wanted.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself in that situation and you're worried about, carbon, you're worried about
the climate, and carbon offset. Yeah.
Thank you. Then good news for you is Ferrari now has an electrical vehicle that's coming out. Their electric vehicle will be hitting the market soon. Going to cost you about $535,000 to drive the Ferrari electric vehicle.
That sounds about right. That does not shock me, because you use the F word there. Mm-hmm. And then, Ferrari.
For the first one, currently the average price of a Ferrari is $376,000. But the electric one, again, $535,000. So you can prove to your neighbors, yes, I have a Ferrari, and yes, I care more about the planet than you do. By the way, Lamborghini also has one that's going to roll off the assembly line in 2028. The entire reason to drive a Ferrari or a Lamborghini is not to have it not be loud.
Yeah, no, right, exactly.
I don't understand.
You want that rumble. Maybe they put it in there as sort of a sound effect or something.
Have you
like
ever
that.
driven either a Ferrari or a Lamborghini?
I have not.
I have driven a Lamborghini.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yes. A guy I knew in Nashville years ago, when I was started doing local radio there, he was a roofer and he sponsored the show. He was one of my clients. He and a buddy started a high-end luxury car rental place in that downtown Nashville. You can rent. They had these insane amount of cars, and it's hundreds of dollars per hour.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to a boom town like Nashville and you want to go to the honky tonks and you want to pull up in a Lamborghini and you're willing to pay $250 an hour or whatever it was, you could do that. Well, I ran into him one day and he was telling me about the business. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. He goes, man, you should totally come in and check it out. And I was like, I don't know. And he goes, I mean, do you have like he goes, how old's your son now? And I was like, oh, he's in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Lamborghini time for him. And so I said, what do you got? And he told me he had, not only did he have a Lamborghini, it was purple. Oh. and I go, and he goes, come on, man. He goes, I'll just take it for 2 hours. It's yours. And then just, send me some.
Hell yeah.
Give me a referral on the radio or something. And I was like, oh, done. So on a Saturday afternoon, my son's in 7th grade. We drive downtown, we pull in, we get out, and I said, let's go. And he looked, it was the look on his face, like he was salivating.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it. And I was like, now I'm the coolest dad ever. And we got into this Lamborghini, and the guy kind of showed me, a couple things about driving it because it's not like a normal car. It was sitting lower than any go-kart I've ever sat in.
Right.
I mean,
you're almost on your back, right?
My ass was 1 inch off the ground.
You pull up behind someone and you're looking right at their license plate.
Literally.
Yeah.
And we got in that thing, and I was like, this is so bizarre. And so we get on the highway, and my son's like, go, Dad, punch it. I'm like, hang on, I'm not going to, I'm not going to kill us, and I'm not going to get a ticket driving this car. But, yeah, we'll see what it's got under the hood, doing a little bit. But And Connell is like, everyone's looking at us. And I'm like, because everybody notices you in that car.
Sure. It's a purple Lambo.
But then what I realized was, and everyone's thinking, who's the douchebag driving the purple Lambo? That's every face is like, what kind of dumbass is that? It just felt
Every
ridiculous.
one of them with the same offer on the table would have taken it. We talked about that band selling out thing.
No,
earlier.
it was hilarious. We had a great time. We drove down, got off the interstate, got off in a little kind of country lane, and I was flying around, and it handled great. It was a lot of fun. Pulled up outside the front. We went to the house though, and a neighbor comes by, and he's like, "Man, nice new car." I'm like, I'm in a Volvo wagon or the Lambo. I'm like, no, dude, it's not my new car. Trust me. And so then it was time to turn the car back in. And that evening, we got it late afternoon. Connell had a buddy at school who was having his bar mitzvah that day, and he goes, "Dad, you gotta drop me off at the bar mitzvah in this." And I was like, "Absolutely not." He goes, "What do you mean?" I go, It's I don't remember which kid it was. He goes, it's his day, and we're gonna pull up to this this like teen rec center they've rented for the party, and you're gonna get out of a Lambo. Everyone's gonna assume it's him. I go, no, we can't do that. And he was like, I can't believe it. Come on. And I'm like, what's the big deal? And of course, he'd already told everybody.
Yeah.
Wait till you see what I pull up in. He's texting all.
You
want
to be seen, and I get it.
And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I can't. We didn't do it.
He learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah,
steal someone else's thunder, man.
That's right. It's not your day.
What you want to do is pull up in front of a dollar store and walk in.
And then haggle with them.
As long as someone's calling me an a-hole at the end of the day, we will have done our job.
Well, they have those operations in Las Vegas, where you can rent those really wild cars that you're talking about, the plum Lambos and that sort of thing. And I always wanted to do that when I was out there because it's Vegas. You get on that straight strip of road, I forget what the highway's called, but it's hammered down and you're on your way out to Bakersfield or whatever. But, it was Vegas. I was always drunk, so I never got around to it. But I wanted to do it. Yeah, one of these days I'll get a sober day in Vegas.
All is not lost.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Well, in the real Lake Winnipesaukee over last week during the long holiday, there was a sailing lesson happening. A local sailing association, there was an operator in a little boat, in a motorboat, not a sailboat. He was mid-lesson. He was teaching children how to sail. I'm sorry, the sailboat was. And dude reached for a tennis ball. He used it to teach turning on some level. As he went for it, one of the kids' little boats tipped over. That mast hit the instructor's throttle and sent him flying into the water and his boat in a spiral. Just a little motorboat in a spiral surrounded by sailboats, just with no one on board. And it's just doing these. It's like doing donuts in a parking lot, if you will. But on the lake. And, these things happen occasionally. Yeah. The difference with this one is there was video, and there was a 17-year-old kid who was not content to watch it go down. He and his dad hopped onto a jet ski and got right up next to the boat as it's circling very rapidly. And the kid times it perfectly, leaps from the jet ski, flies like Batman, lands in the boat, and disaster is averted.
To the rescue.
Here's the kid.
And I looked up and I could see this boat circling. And then, of course, looked at the boat and there's nobody in it. If that boat was circling like that, it could have hit somebody.
So he jumped on his boat, told me to get on the jet ski to go get the kids out of the way. It just came to me. I didn't really think. I just did it. I'm realizing what I did. It scared me a little bit, but it was fun.
Oh, man, that's Hollywood stunt movies. Or stuntman stuff right there, hopping off the jet ski. Now, I have on a couple of occasions thought I might attempt this out on Minnetonka, one of our fine lakes here in Minnesota, on the jet ski, jumping into the boat. Guys, I'm going to come up to next to your boat, and I'm going to jump from my jet ski into your boat. Yeah. But I wasn't quite drunk enough. I was drunk enough to have the idea, but not drunk enough to give me that third testicle I needed to make the leap. And because I got up there next to me, and you're going probably only about 15, 20 miles an hour, and I'm looking, I'm like, I'm not quite drunk enough. I think I would feel this when I came up short. So I've never done it, but good for that kid. And there were some other kids on the boat, right? Because the instructor got knocked off the boat by the freak accident, right? Yep. All right, that's some hero stuff there, kid. He's got a story when he gets back to school.
I like you being drunk enough to have the idea, but not drunk enough to realize you're not drunk enough to do it.
Right,
that's it's like a dog chasing its tail sort of vibe.
That's probably why I'm still on Earth.
Not a lot of jet ski activity in my life. I have done the wave runner, the bigger ones, because I've never done it on lakes. I've done it like in the ocean, and much harder, at least initially, because you got waves to deal with.
And I was talking about a jet ski. I was in fact on a wave runner when I was talking about doing that. There is a difference, and I just tend to call them. It's like the Kleenex, is the nose tissue.
But the first time I did a jet ski, that's the one where you are squat. You're not sitting. You're up on your feet. Yes. And you're standing. I did one of those in 1993. On the Atlantic coast in South Georgia, and on a wavy day, and I rode around on that thing for 30 minutes, and at the time of my life. And I am not exaggerating when I say, when I got off that jet ski, I could not walk. I kid you not. My legs were so fried. Every muscle in both of my legs was in a state of complete. Like my legs felt like they were made of steel, but they couldn't function. They were so overwrought and overmatched. And I was laying on the beach, and Rosemary's like, "Let's go." And I'm like, look at him, I'm like, I can't, I can't walk. So what are you talking about?
I gave it all, babe.
I go, I'm dead serious. I can't stand up. And she's like, it took her 5 minutes to accept that I wasn't trying to be funny. I'm like, there's nothing funny about me crawling without the use of my legs. I can't get. And then she stood me, helped me stand up, and I truly just fell down. Like my legs were in shock.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was still like playing basketball a lot then too. And I was like, I thought I was in bad shape. I'm not even in bad shape. I'm in whatever's way worse than bad shape.
You don't use the jet ski muscles usually. That's a whole different muscle group. And then you've got the adrenaline out there and the waves, and you're so focused and in it and having such a blast. And then, when you're done, your body, that adrenaline goes down and your body just shuts off those limbs.
I did a wave runner once in Miami, had a day off on tour, and me and my bass player and a member of our crew and one of the promoter staff, 4 of us got wave runners, Miami Beach. And we got on these wave runners. It was a very calm day. easy. Those, bigger boat, bigger machine. We're sitting
Straddle
down.
'em, yeah.
And Ray Compton, the tour accountant for the promoter, he looked at us. He goes, "Okay, guys, it's ocean chicken." And we're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Just turn, go directly in a straight line away from the beach and see who will hold out the longest." not a smart thing for a bunch of dudes in a rock band in their late 20s on a day off in Miami. I'm like, I'm not chickening out. And I've told this story, and people think I'm exaggerating. We, 4 of us, tear away, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder to shoulder, in a straight line away from the water, and we're going and we're going and we're going. And when you see oil tankers off the shore just sitting out there, we went past an oil tanker.
Oh my gosh.
And when we finally stopped and turned around, we could barely, you could see buildings like giant hotels on the beach. No clue as to which one was ours or anything. We were miles offshore.
Freaky.
And all of a sudden, it went from we're cool to we were all half in the bag, of course, to do this. Terrified.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell did we just do? And to get back to shore, it felt like it took 30 minutes. Like, didn't even notice on the way out. We're like laughing, all right. And we got back, and as we're getting closer, and then the buildings are getting clearer, and we were like, okay, there's our hotel. We're way south of it, and we're all kind of angling back. And we turned back in. I mean, like we rented them for like an hour. The entire hour was one round trip out. We got back, seriously, and our time was up, and we were like, what the hell is wrong with us?
So you admitted you were terrified.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's cool.
All but soiled myself.
If you had run out of gas or there had been a mechanical failure, of course, you're out past, you're in Riptide territory now. You would have ended up in Cuba, most likely.
If we're
on
lucky,
your way.
as opposed to heading over to Spain, North Africa.
Right, you are on your way. Growing up in lakes, I'm a Midwest kid, grew up on lakes, and I remember the first time I was out on a boat doing some deep sea fishing, so I'm on a boat. But I remember the first time I looked back and couldn't see shore. And I was like, I had no idea. No one ever explained to me that was going to be a freaky experience, but I was freaked out. And if I would have been on a wave runner, because I've conked out in wave runners more times than I can count, like 4 or 5.
Sure.
I mean, obviously I can count that, but I can't easily remember how many times I've just been out in the middle of Minnetonka waving boats down going, there's something wrong with this piece of crap that I borrowed from my buddy. It's not going anymore, and they toss me the old line, and tow me in. But out there in the ocean, man, that's a whole thing.
It's a whole nother thing.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.